days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. Welcome to the show. We're going to have a lot of exciting weeks because, Alex, it is NFC
Championship.
Oh, my God, I blanked.
The NFC Championship.
It's almost... NFC... I can't believe it's here.
And
we did it.
We weren't supposed to be here.
I know.
We weren't going to be here.
Yeah, no,
this team
I completely blanked because all I can think about is the 49ers are about to take over SoFi.
Yeah, they are about to take over SoFi. That's going to happen yet again. I'm already seeing all the people posting about it. I'm already seeing people talk about it.
And the Rams are trying to stop it.
They are doing everything in their power to stop it, and it's going to be unsuccessful. It's at this point, it's inevitable.
I seen the Rush road trip. It's already been announced.
They've already announced it.
Yeah.
So shout out to John Chapman, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. If you want to go to SoFi, you want to hang out with John Chapman and a bunch of 49ers fans and just take over down there in LA, go get some tickets for that. It'll be a lot of fun. Free promos for John Chapman around here because we're big fans, and we love what he's doing with the faithful there in the road trip.
Yeah, I think we're just about helping other guys out, helping other people that are doing their best they can for the 49ers. I think it's just the right thing to do. We're all about our team around here. So
accurate.
Yeah, get out there if you can. If you can go to this game, wear your red, sport your colors, and let everyone in Rams land know. It doesn't matter what you do, Ramley. You can't stop the 49ers from taking over your house, no matter how many times the announcer is going to say whose house. It doesn't change the fact that there's going to be a lot of red there.
There's going to be a butt ton of red, a butt ton of red. But look, let's get into the first thing we need to talk about first before we go to initial thoughts on this game. And there's a lot of thoughts to be had and a lot of discussions to be had about this, Ant. Let's talk about the Trent Williams update.
Yeah.
Great news. Even before anyone announced anything in terms of x-rays and things of that nature, you sent me, Ant, a wonderful video of Brandon Ayuk because the team is getting on the plane to leave Green Bay and Trent Williams walking around without crutches. At that exact moment, you and I knew Trent Williams is probably going to be fine, and whatever x-rays he took are going to come back probably negative, and then turn around a day later, less than 24 hours later, Trent Williams' x-ray results have come back negative. We jokingly said we were going to go live, and break the news that Trent Williams was seen walking onto an airplane because of Brandon Ayuk's Instagram post, and therefore confirmed Trent Williams not on crutches, and that is breaking huge, important news for 49ers fans because it is. Trent Williams' health is a big question for a lot of people going into this football game. Looking like it's a better situation for the 49ers. We were both a little weary about it. How are you feeling now?
I'm feeling really good because I just, I know that the 49ers beat the Los Angeles Rams without Trent Williams in Week 18. They've already proven they can do it with a Colton McKivitz playing left tackle, but he gave up 2 sacks, and one of those to Von Miller could have been an absolute game ender. Jimmy Garoppolo got crushed. It was one of those things that it looked like it was done. Luckily for us, McVay ran the ball 3 straight times. The 49ers defense, stiffened up, and we got the ball back. And, of course, Jimmy Garoppolo leads the drive down the field, and Juwan Jennings catches the game-tying touchdown. That was a phenomenal play. But if you have Trent Williams in that game, that sack doesn't happen. And maybe you don't have to have that, defensive stop, use your timeouts and that. Trent Williams is a game changer. He's a difference maker on offense, both in the run game and the pass game. And what he does is afford you the opportunity to give help to Tom Compton, whether that is chipping, using Kyle Juszczyk or George Kittle, or just giving him help on the inside. You have Daniel Brunskill, who has to already compete with Aaron Donald. That's going to be enough of a matchup. But you have the improvement of Alex Mack, who's one of the highest graded on PFF this week for the 49ers. So I think that this is one of those things where Trent Williams helps your matchup. You can't count on rolling with Colton McKivitz again and getting the win, but I am definitely feeling a lot better with the fact that Trent Williams was walking around behind Brandon Ayuk, and thankful for Instagram stories because this is the same way that we got the information that Trent Williams was coming back to San Francisco. Happened to catch that. We pumped out our video real quick, so we appreciate the Instagram stories. Keep that going.
100% keep that going. Broke the Trent Williams news when it came out when the Niners were putting the contract in place. Because of it too, we got the Alex Mack situation as well. I mean, a lot of positive things from Instagram stories. So Instagram stories and 49ers players use that, utilize that. We're paying attention. We are watching. But listen, this is a huge situation for the 49ers. It helps in the run game. It helps in the pass game. It helps Jimmy Garoppolo because let's not also forget one of the picks in that football game, Ant, is because Jimmy's getting hit as he's trying to take a shot downfield, and Colt McKivitz is getting beat across his face against Von Miller. Actually, I think it was Aaron Donald.
It was a TE stunt. Yeah,
it was a TE stunt,
and they started Donald on the outside. He worked his way inside. Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be one of those things where, look, I think at the end of the day, we have a situation here where Trent Williams obviously makes this team better, but it also allows the offense to function at a little bit higher level when he's out there. The question is just going to be, how healthy is he? 75% Trent Williams is still better than most, if not all, left tackles in all of football.
It's better than Colton McKivitz.
That is also true.
Give me 50% Trent Williams.
50% Trent Williams is still probably pretty better than Colton McKivitz as well, and he's just an absolute savage and a monster. So if he's out there, your offense is going to definitely be able to function a little bit better. Hopefully be able to get things going a little bit earlier. But let's get into initial thoughts, because there's a lot of different thought processes with this football game. There's people that are worried and concerned because it's 3 times. There's people, and who have not only already booked their tickets, but are already prepping for the Super Bowl because it's the Rams and we own the Rams. There's a lot of thoughts across the board on this game. Where are you at with this matchup? How much do you like this matchup, and is there anything you don't like?
I think that anytime you play a team, this many times, you're going to be familiar. I think the one thing you got going for you is you were already familiar with the opponent because they're an NFC West opponent. They've had Sean McVay as the coach for a while. Him and Kyle Shanahan understanding each other. They know what each other wants to do.
True.
It's just who's going to come up with the wrinkles that are going to get it done and who's going to execute, when it comes time to do it. I think that I like the advantages for the 49ers as far as not having to travel as far. You just had the big game against Green Bay. You're going to have the extra day off. Now you get to go down there to a controlled environment. It's going to be a lot different than it was. You're used to that environment. You played there. You just proved that you could win there in Week 18. Mentally, I believe you have an edge on the Rams in that situation. I think you also have to treat this, though, as a different kind of game. As we've seen in the playoffs, it's taken on a life of its own. The defense is playing at an all-time high, but this is a different type of matchup than we've seen in the previous 2. I think that, the Rams are a good football team. I think the Niners are a good football team. I think it could go either way. I do think the 49ers are a better overall team, though. I think from top to bottom, they're a little bit better than the Rams, but you're going to have to go out there and execute and earn it. The one thing I know is Jimmy Garoppolo plays well against the Rams for whatever reason. Daniel Brunskill plays really good against Aaron Donald for whatever reason. Some things don't need to be explained. Let's not explain it and let those things not expire. So I think this is going to be a cool matchup. It's a matchup that I believe going into the playoffs, it's one of those ones you're looking at and you're like, wait a second, if this could play out and we could get a game against the Los Angeles Rams for the NFC West, or I'm sorry, NFC Championship, not even West, NFC Championship, that you would feel comfortable with that situation.
True.
And another thing it does is, in the back of their mind, the Rams all week are thinking, we should have gotten rid of the 49ers when we had the chance in Week 18. We had them down and we let them off the hook. And now you got to pay for, got to have suffer the consequences.
Hey, it's time to pay the piper. You're either going to be able to get it done now, or your Super Bowl aspirations are going to fizzle into thin air. And look, I said this on Face Off earlier this morning, which was a very hotly contested episode. If you missed 49ers Face Off, you might want to go back and watch it. It was spicy. It was spicy this morning, in a good way. It was a healthy spice, right? No? Cutback crew?
I think people's buttholes are going to burn on that one.
It might. There was a lot going on in that episode. There was a lot going on in that episode. But look, I said it then. I said this is a situation with both of these teams where you don't have a lot of things to lose. There's not a whole lot left to lose for both teams. And, Jay was saying, hey, that's not true. The Rams have a lot to lose. And I think a lot of people feel that way. The Rams do have a lot to lose. You invested a lot of capital.
Oh, yeah.
You invested, a lot of things. You've basically sold your future for a Super Bowl title right now, and I'm thinking they're hoping, right, we've done enough that maybe we can keep a couple of these guys and try and run it back one more year after that. But the window is very, very small for the Rams. It's open, and they can easily get through it, but it's shrinking with every moment. And if you don't take advantage of it now, you don't know how much longer that thing is going to stay open. But for that reason, this is why I believe that they have a lot to lose. They don't have a lot to lose, excuse me. I think you've lost to this team now so many times. There is such not an aura around the Niners, but there's such a negative connotation for the Rams around this matchup that they feel like they have to go all out, right? Like, if you lose to this team again, you're just not better than this team and it's time to blow it up. But if you can beat this team, well, then you're capable of winning a Super Bowl, because I think even Sean McVay and most of those Rams team players know that this is a team that is entirely capable of running the table right now and winning the Super Bowl.
The one thing I know is if they win, it erases anything the 49ers have done over the last 6 times that they've played them.
Correct.
It becomes irrelevant because then the Rams are the ones that got the one over on them. And the Rams are going to come out, they're going to be ready to roll. It's going to be an exciting matchup. I mean, just the key players in this game. I mean, there's just a lot of tough, cool matchups
everywhere.
The one thing I'll say too, though, is you're going to get a more healthy San Francisco 49ers, front seven than you saw even against the Rams before. And they could not get the run game going. The Rams could not establish a run game. And the 49ers didn't have Azeez Al-Shaair in that game. Now he's going to be playing. This is a different matchup in that regard. And Sean McVay, I'll give him credit. He stuck with that run game even when it wasn't there. He kept doing it. He kept doing it. He did the same thing against Tampa Bay. Just keeps doing it. Also, he can help that pass game out. The problem is, it seems like when it gets to the end of the game, the other team has an opportunity to win. And we've seen that when the 49ers are put in that situation, 9 times out of 10, they're going to go down and they're going to get the victory. That's what they've proven.
True.
Another hidden storyline in all of this is during the offseason in Cancun, Matthew Stafford was the prize piece that Sean McVay got. Kyle Shanahan ultimately was very interested. I think he's been clear on that. He went on, the podcast and talked about it. And then you have, McVay that gets the win, and they get the prize piece. Stafford's going to be the guy. What happens if Jimmy Garoppolo rolls in there and leads this team to a victory, and the Matthew Stafford trade becomes irrelevant? How do we start looking at that trade then? Does it become a bad trade if they are not able to get over the hump and get to the Super Bowl? The all-in nature of Von Miller's trade. All these things are going to be playing in it. So I know you said they have nothing to lose. I would look at it as maybe they're going to have a lot of pressure on them to go ahead and win this game. They've made all these moves. They went and got Matthew Stafford. Stafford's going to be the guy. Von Miller's going to be that finally get us past Garoppolo and the 49ers.
You're replacing Jared Goff with Matt Stafford. How could this not take this to the
This is what we needed to beat the 49ers. This is the piece. We needed somebody. We know Goff couldn't do it, but Stafford can do it. There's going to be that pressure. Jalen Ramsey's going to get frustrated at some point in this game.
Correct.
It's inevitable. So I think that they're going to feel the pressure. And I think it's actually could be a detriment to play at home. Because playing at home, you're going to feel that pressure from the crowd. There's going to be a nice energy. But anytime that the 49ers go up, you're going to feel that entire room just go, it's going to be hard. It's going to be stressful. So I kind of like the matchup for the 49ers as far as they understand what's going on. And I do think the Rams are going to feel the pressure.
I agree with you. They're going to feel the pressure. I mean, how could you not? With 6 straight losses to this team, with Jimmy Garoppolo beating you. All of this for Jimmy Garoppolo. Those memes are out.
They're wonderful.
They're wonderful. They're hilarious. And they're out in full force. And, they're
Marketing Pro. What's up?
What's up, Marketing Pro? Look, at the end of the day, this is one of those things with this matchup where I think it plays well for San Francisco and their strengths. I think this is a game. It is a team that you match up very well against. They're not equipped to necessarily stop the run. They have extremely suspect linebacker play. They have suspect safety play. They have suspect corner play that's not Jalen Ramsey. It is not necessarily the best thing for the Rams. Now, did they come out in Week 18 and punch the Niners in the mouth? 100%.
Absolutely.
Did they finish the job? No, they did not. Did the Packers come out and kick the Niners in the mouth like George Kittle said? Yep. Did they finish the job?
Nope.
No one really has been able to finish the job. There have been a couple of teams now that have given the Niners their best punch, and guess what? The Niners have gotten up from the mat, nowhere near a 10 count, and the other team's been staring and looking at it and being like, yo, what the frick is going on over there? What are you guys? Welcome to Bully Bowl. Something that we said early in the preseason we said was going to happen. We thought was going to be the case. The Niners weren't able early in the season to come out and establish it because he had injuries to Elijah Mitchell. Raheem Mostert goes down. Jeff Wilson Jr., freakishly tears something in his knee, standing up out of a chair in training. I mean, just a lot of things prevented you from being that team very early. But you found it. You found it when it matters most. And now that it's here, now that it's in front of everyone's face, what are you going to do? How do you respond to it? And can you do it for 4 quarters? No one has so far. No one has been able to do that for four quarters. Punch the Niners, kick them in the mouth, put them down, and then keep them down there. They somehow get up every single time. And if you're the Rams, you came out with that mentality. You came out in Week 18 and gave the Niners the best chance. They tried, Ant. I mean, I think you and I both believe this. They tried to prevent San Francisco from being in that playoff picture. They didn't want to see San Francisco in the playoffs. They didn't want San Francisco anywhere near
No,
the
they're
playoffs.
afraid this was going to happen. Yeah, and you know what? The 49ers have outplayed the Rams for 7 quarters.
True.
I mean, you say 7 because there was the overtime period. But really, the Rams, the second time that they played, had the first half. And then other than that, the 49ers have absolutely handled the Rams. So I think that the 49ers have a blueprint that they can go in and execute against the Rams. The Rams have to try to take that away. The one thing we saw is the 49ers are going to work on those outside edge rushers. Even though Von Miller and those guys are very good as far as speed rush, Vaughn can show some power at times. I think that they're a weakness for them. They want to play them outside. That plays into how the 49ers run the football because the Green Bay Packers had a lot better linebacker core. The Dallas Cowboys had a lot better linebacker core than the Rams do. That is their Achilles heel in stopping this run game for the 49ers. And that's what puts so much stress on Miller and those guys on the edge because when they're not able to know that it's an obvious pass situation, when you have a 3rd and 2, and you can still run with Deebo Samuel or Elijah Mitchell, it makes it so their pass rush is a little more hesitant. They have to hesitate for a second. You can go get it done. That's what makes it a little bit different. Tampa Bay wasn't able to have a run game that is so diverse like the 49ers is, and so it's easy to know what you're going to get out of it. You stymie it early, and then you get after Tom Brady, who's a stationary target. Is Jimmy Garoppolo a stationary target? Sure he is. But the problem is you're playing in front of the sticks usually against the Rams because you win on 1st and 2nd down.
That's what it's going to come down to in this game. I mean, in all honesty, that's kind of what we're thinking and feeling in this is as long as the Niners are executing on early downs, the offense should be able to function in a great way. You should be able to put yourself in extremely manageable situations. You should be able to continue drives, move down the field, and you should be able to, in situations, put the ball in the end zone for touchdowns rather than settling for field goals or making big mistakes because you're going to have 1st and 2nd down where you can lean on your run game. And when they overplay their hand, when they try too hard to take that away, you should be able to, on those moments, get in play action situations or even just get into pass situations, get one-on-ones where you can attack because their linebackers definitely can't guard George Kittle. They're going to have to try and bracket him, and if they do that, you're putting Brandon Ayuk in one-on-ones, Jawan Jennings, who we've already seen beat the Rams in one-on-one situations, beat them, or Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's some stressful matchups on both sides of the football. The Rams definitely with their wide receiver group can put stress onto the 49ers secondary, but once again, the 49ers formula has been, and DeMeco Ryans is stuck with this even against Green Bay, was we're going to stop you with our front 7, and we're going to play a 2-deep look. Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers have struggled to beat these. Do they both have enough talent to beat it at times? Of course they do. They're crazy talented football players. But when you can do that, and then you can come after them on these 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, you can get after them. We've seen Bosa and these guys win. And when you double, and that's what McVay and the Rams have done, is they've chipped Bosa at all costs. They've doubled Bosa, sometimes triple Bosa. Then it frees up other guys. And Arden Key, Samson Ebukam, and Eric Armstead, even DJ Jones, have proven consistently that you put them one-on-one and they're going to win. You have the questions about Andrew Whitworth at left tackle. That could play into this as well. You're going to have a backup tackle going against these guys. And you could always flip the script and put Nick Bosa inside or on that side and put a lot of pressure on him. I think those are some of the things that we're going to see this week. Is he going to be back? If he is back, yeah, but is he 100%? And even then, even at 100%, can he consistently stop this 49ers pass rush? If the 49ers get to 3rd down and it's 3rd and long, they will do what I said they were going to do before. They'll hold them under 40% efficiency, and then they'll be able to get them off the field and they'll be able to win.
I think that's fair. The only question I would have for you is after watching the barrage, the pass game that you just saw against the Bucs with a good front and pretty good linebacker play from the Buccaneers, are you worried about at all that they're going to be able to get the pass game going?
I think it's a different type of style, though. The secondary for Tampa Bay is not as good as the secondary for the 49ers,
Nope.
And mainly because of the safeties. I think Antoine Winfield is great, but then you have everybody else. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. They were Richard Sherman they brought in this year. They were trying to bring in guys who helped change the secondary. The defensive front was good. It wasn't elite compared to what the 49ers are. The 49ers are hitting their stride right now. I mean, it's ridiculous numbers. You're averaging 5 sacks a game. That type of thing, if you can duplicate that against the Rams again, then it definitely changes the game. And we've seen when it gets to a stressful situation in the second half, Matthew Stafford will rush, he will force, and he struggles a little bit.
He'll take some chances. And look, he took chances against Tampa Bay. And while none of them ended up being like backbreaking, including the last big play to Cooper Kupp, which ends up being a great thing, which I think you and I both agree was questionable decision-making by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in terms of the defense that you're playing in that situation. But I digress. You're an NFL coach. I'm here on a podcast talking, and, it is what it is. At the end of the day, if Stafford is having to guess what coverage you're running, he's having to, think, hold on to the football, you and I think both believe the Niners are going to be able to get after this in a big way and be able to cause problems for Matt Stafford. We just saw this against Aaron Rodgers. So I'm not as worried as some people may be about this situation. Do I think that this is a guarantee gimme? No, it's the playoffs.
It's
You're going to get the best look that you've gotten from the Rams all season, and you just got a really good one in Week 18. You have to expect that you're going to get an even better one this time around. It comes down to preparation. It comes down to execution. It comes down to how healthy you can get by the time you get to Sunday, and how healthy they can get to by the time you get to Sunday, and then who can put their best foot forward. This is going to be a slobber knocker. I tweeted that out when the Rams went up big. I said, if they hold this, it is turning out right now to be a slobber knocker next Sunday. And then people were like, oh, it doesn't look like they're going to hold it. I said, I did say if. And they did end up pulling it out. And good for the Rams. They found a way to finish a football game late against a team that I thought was dead in the water, Ant. I was stunned that the Tampa Bay was able to climb back into that game after everything that I saw. But Tom is Tom. The defense made, plays when they needed to. And listen, I think that bodes well for the Niners. If you can be opportunistic against this Rams team, and when they make mistakes, find a way to get the ball back and capitalize, as long as you're not stifled offensively, and I don't think anything points to the Niners being as hampered as the Bucs were on offense, then you should be, in theory, be able to put up more points than the Rams.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be close. I think it's going to come down to the wire, and it's going to really come down to who can execute in crunch time, and somebody's going to make a mistake. You're just hoping that mistake is from the Los Angeles Rams. Against Tampa Bay, they proved they were willing to make mistakes. Against the 49ers in Week 18, they were willing to make mistakes. When it came crunch time, they weren't able to execute. The 49ers were. They're battle-tested. They had a different type of a season than the Rams. I think the Rams going through the playoffs is going to give them some confidence and some ability. But you also seen, some chinks. You've seen, people kind of expose them a little bit. Jalen Ramsey got beat by Evans. There are some things out there that you haven't seen all year. But the 49ers have to impose will. They have to go out there and physically dominate the Rams, defensively and offensively. They just got to go ahead and get it done. And if they can do that, if they can impose their will, it will wear on the Rams as we get into the late third, early fourth quarter. And that's when the 49ers can take control. But I think overall this matchup is going to be a fun one. It's going to be a good one. The good news for both of these teams, they never have to leave California again.
True.
They're going to be in California for the NFC Championship game. And hopefully for the 49ers' sake, they're in the Super Bowl in SoFi Stadium February 13th.
Let's hope that is the case, and I would love that to be the case. I want that to be the case. I don't want the Niners to be anything but in the Super Bowl, taking care of business, no matter who it is. Chiefs, Bungles, Bengals. I don't care. I just want a Super Bowl opportunity for this team. This team has earned it. They've come a long way. They've changed so much about what they've done. They've grown so much. And you got yourself a test here against a rival, against a division foe that you've already faced twice this year, that you've found a way to overcome. Now it's all about the extra little adjustments that you can make, the things that you can clean up offensively, and as long as you're cleaning those things up and the defense keeps playing at this level, I think you and I both believe, and I think a lot of 49ers fans believe, including the Cutback crew, that this is a situation where the Niners can come out of this with a win, get themselves to a Super Bowl, and like you said, not have to do a whole heck of a lot more traveling on the year, which is nice.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it definitely changes things. It changes the approach. Because when you have to travel all the way across, your travel day is a little bit different. I mean, for travel across country. So, but this game is going to be fun to break down all week. This is going to be an exciting thing because we're getting to the third matchup. So we're going to have lots of film on how these guys play each other, and because they played in Week 18, a lot of valuable film. You're going to see how they used Odell, in this offense with Cooper Kupp, and the way that they were able to do it. And it was also a young Ambry Thomas who was getting tested on the outside. So I think that there's going to be a lot of things that we can take away from this. So it's going to be a fun, exciting thing. Niners got some guys back. Niners are a little bit different team. Rams, of course, got to run. Akers is a little bit more healthy. It looks like Henderson is back. So there's going to be some things like that we're going to see. I'm excited about it. I'm curious to get into it, and I can't wait for the 49ers and the Rams to play in a little bit of the afternoon, right? It's like the 3:40 kickoff time.
It's a weird time.
It's going to be exciting. Can the Niners get the win? I'm sure hoping so.
I'm hoping so as well. Cutback crew, let us know what your initial thoughts are on this 49ers-Rams NFC Championship game in the comment down below. And how do you feel about the Trent Williams update? You excited about this? Make you feel better that he has a chance to play? And are you worried about this matchup? Confident in this matchup? Or you're already planning and thinking Super Bowl? Let us know in the comment down below section down below what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and what you may be worried about, because there's a lot of things to talk about with this game, and we're going to have content all week long going through all of this, man. Everything 49ers Rams, everything NFC Championship game, and everything this team trying to do whatever it takes to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's going to be something coming out every single day, and most of the days, multiple things. So keep an eye, on the channel and try to catch everything. It's going to be fun. If you listen on traditional platforms, it's all going to be on there as well.
I agree.
So make sure you give it a listen. Let us know what you think. It's exciting. 49ers have finally gotten to this point. I think back a lot about some of the NFC championship games through the past, and I think back to the Los Angeles Rams getting absolutely owned by the 49ers at one time. So this is one of those things where we talked about the rivalries, going through some of our normal rivals. You go through the Cowboys, go through the Packers. The cherry on top is you go through the Rams to get to the Super Bowl. That's big time news. That's closing it down. And then, Alex, would that mean if the 49ers beat the Rams, would that mean that the Niners are actually the winners of the quest for the West?
In theory. In theory,
Yeah.
you would be accurate, Ant.
Yeah.
So maybe we do a special Quest for the West episode with our special Rams correspondent. That is possibly the case. But look, Cutback Crew, everything he just said and more. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and also hit the notification bell. Hit that thing. That way you're notified for any of the videos that come out on the channel, including maybe some surprise stuff. Surprise stuff where maybe we don't necessarily update you right away. Just something springs up on the channel. If you hit that notification bell, you don't have to worry about it because you will be notified. And if you become a channel member on YouTube here, then you're just going to get a channel member post for that stuff as well anyway, because, channel members, you guys are extra supportive of the channel here on YouTube. You're paying money every month. You're helping us produce and have the time to make this extra content, as well as our GOAT tier members right over there on the right-hand side of me, Ant, on Patreon, who are $16 a month over there on Patreon. And if you want extra additional content, you can go over to Patreon and get stuff like Big Yikes, which is going to be good again, Ant. Stunning. It's stunning that it's going to be good yet again. It seems like Big Yikes is great every week over there on Patreon.
Yeah, it is. It's our #1 show on Patreon. So if you enjoy laughing, you can hop over there. It's only $7 for our base set, and you can go into that. But what Alex said about extra content, it's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. It's going to happen. We're going to have all kinds of cool stuff. And if the 49ers make the Super Bowl, 2 glorious weeks of great content. Get ready for all of it. First things first, though, take care of the Rams in McVay and in the Stafford, and then you got a chance. But it's going to be a fun week. Let's get into this. Let's get into this cool matchup. 49ers versus Rams, NFC Championship game. This is where you want to be. This is exactly what you want to be doing at this time of the year. 1 game away from February football.
The only thing better than January football, Ant. You just said it. The Niners need 1 more. You got to take care of business against the Rams at SoFi Stadium. Cutback Crew. We'll see you on the next video. And until then, stay safe.
Remember, the right way
is always the 49ers way.